Mangalamurti Shri Ganaraya Adivando Tuj Moraya Gajanana Shri Ganaraya Adivando Tuj Moraya Gajanana Shri Ganaraya Adivando Tuj Moraya Mangalamurti Shri Ganaraya Adivando Tuj Moraya Gajanana Shri Ganaraya Adivando Tuj Moraya सिंदूर चर्चित धवले अंग सिंदूर चर्चित धवले अंग चंदन उठे खुलवे रंग बघता मानस होते दंग जीव जडला चरणी तुझिया आदिवंदो तुझ मोरया गजानना श्री गणराया आदिवंदो तुझ मोरया गजानना श्री गणराया आदिवंदो तुझ मोरया गौरी तनया भालचंद्रा गौरी तनया भालचंद्रा देव कृपेचा तू समुद्र वरद विनायक करुणागारा अवधि विघ्न सीन लया आदिवंदो तुझ मोरया गजानना श्री गणराया आदिवंदो तुझ मोरया गजानना श्री गणराया आदिवंदो तुझ मोरया मंगल मूर्ति श्री गणराया आदिवंदो तुझ मोरया गजानना श्री गणराया आदिवंदो तुझ मोरया गजानना श्री गणराया आदिवंदो तुझ मोरया आदिवंदो तुझ मोरया आदिवंदो तुझ मोरया
A very warm welcome to all the seekers on this session today. We have been organizing various such sessions every day for the benefit of all new joinees into Sahaja Yoga. And the idea behind these sessions is essentially to give a brief introduction to Sahaja Yoga, how Sahaja Yoga works out. Essentially, what do we do when we say we meditate in Sahaja Yoga? What are the benefits? And how do we meditate at home? So we have a WhatsApp group as well. To join that, we have been having several sessions on Sundays with some senior Sahaja Yogis who have learned quite a lot over the years. So all of this has been happening over this YouTube and Zoom channel, and 3 sessions every day are running. One in the morning at 8, one in the afternoon at 4:15, and this is the one in the evening at 7:45. Only on Saturdays we started having a session in English for those of you who requested to have a session in English. So what we'll do in the next hour or so is talk a little bit about what is Sahaja Yoga, and what do we really mean by meditation and yoga, and how do we get to our higher self through Sahaja Yoga and meditation. And we'll talk about our subtle system a bit, chakras and nadis, and then we'll go for a meditation session. We can have any questions that you may have towards the end. You can join on Zoom, or you can leave questions on YouTube chats, whatever is comfortable. Happy to have a general discussion as well if you want to share your experiences. Great. So let's start. Sahaja Yoga was started by Shree Mataji, Nirmala Devi in 1970. So you see her photograph just behind me, and she's been working a lot. She has traveled a lot to spread the word of Sahaja Yoga, and now Sahaja Yoga has been spread across the globe in more than 150 countries. There is no real organization as such, so you won't find a lot of advertisements being done and things like that. It's just word of mouth, like we are doing right now. That Sahaja Yoga is spreading more. So, what is it that we are doing different here, or what is it that needs to be achieved in the name of yoga? Some of those things we'll quickly talk about. So the word Sahaja Yoga, it's always best to start with that. So for us, the first thing to understand is yoga. What do we understand by the word yoga is something very, very different for all of us. For example, some of us understand it to be maybe concentration while sitting in silently in meditation, or it could be doing tapasya like the Rishi Munis of the old, or it could be doing asanas or physical exercises, or it could be I don't know, reading books and maybe taking some mantras or names and things like that. So there are various things that we have been doing. We have been seeking God, and we have been trying to figure out something higher. There has been a search going on, a great search, and seeking has been on for ages in the human evolution. And because there is a general understanding, and now I think it's more common that we see it in every household, everywhere. People are looking for something higher, and because for sure we can see all around us that this is definitely not what God had planned for us as humanity. There are so many good things about us, but there are so many things that are not so good. And essentially, we can all agree that something has to happen in our consciousness so that we all rise up a bit, so that we elevate ourselves from all that is wrong in this world. So there has been a seeking going on. A lot of us get that, we can say, vairagya from this life, when we say that this is not good, this is not it, I have to find for something else, to look for something else. So when we reach that state, when we say not this, not this, not this, that is when we start searching God. We find that money doesn't give us the satisfaction, or maybe whatever our pursuits are, maybe career, maybe family, maybe all those things. Slowly, at each step in life, we realize that this is not it. So a seeking sets in, and this could be just to make ourselves better, maybe physically, maybe we may have some ailments, and we decide to maybe go for try some yoga methods from which we can get better, or maybe we are just stressed so much that we start looking. Stress is one of those things definitely these days. We are all overworked, we are all, all the time we are on the laptop, calls, this, that, working too much on the desk and thinking, planning. So we're all stressed out a lot, and we think that something that can relieve us from that stress, give us some peace. So we should go after something like that. So there are various things that are pushing us today to search for something higher, and this seeking is what has led so many of you here as well. And this is a special category of people, Shree Mataji says. Um, it was unheard of in the history. Shree Mataji says, never in the history of humanity so many people have been seeking God, and we have been going to so many organizations and gurus and figuring out how to go higher. So this is something very, very new, Shree Mataji says, and this is the blessing of these times that we live in, because there is so much confusion all around us. There's so many problems that there is no way out. We have to figure out the higher purpose, the higher level that we have to rise to. So when we talk about yoga, it's a Sanskrit word which literally means the union. So when we say yoga, union, we have to understand that whatever pursuits we have been doing, have we achieved union? So what does it mean? Union of what? It's union of the self, the spirit, with the all-pervading power, God, Param Chaitanya. You can call it by whatever name you want it to. That is what is called as yoga. Now this union has to happen to all of us, and that is, Shree Mataji says, it's a birthright. It is a right that is there with every human being, because all of us have the spirit, all of us have that that mechanism, we can say, built inside, that it can happen to all of us. The question is, how does it happen, and how do we get this yoga? So there is only one method of that happening, and that is through Kundalini Awakening. Now, for Kundalini Awakening, it's a very big term. It's a very heavy term. Now, more than maybe even a couple of decades ago, people had not heard of it at all. But now most of us have heard it. It's something that has been in the Indian scriptures for thousands and thousands of years, but it was never talked about. It was very hush hush, and the reason it was not talked about was because very, very few people had the power to raise the Kundalini of others. There was this one guru, one shishya parampara, where a guru would choose one shishya among tens of thousands or lakhs of shishyas and give realization to one. That had happened in our history, as we have read about it a lot, and so many saints have talked about it in their own various formats. For example, Kabira talked about it as Ida, Pingla, Sukhaman, Nadi. So those are the three channels inside us. And then so many references I can talk about right now. Everybody, every scripture, every religion has had some context based out for Kundalini Awakening, for something higher that has to happen to us. The problem is that it has been talked about, and it has been very, very rare. It has not happened till now en masse. It had happened to one or two people. And those one or two people, like Kabira and Snamdev and Gyaneshwara and so many saints across the world, when they talked about something higher, people thought of them to be fools, because we couldn't see what they could see. They were on a higher plane. Shree Mataji said that the time is such that thousands of us have to get it. And once we get to even one step ahead, we can start seeing that there is something higher. Then we can correct ourselves. Instead of going into penances and tapasyas for hundreds of thousands of years and then getting it. So that is what Sahaja Yoga is, whereby Shree Mataji's grace, all of us amas get our self-realization by the virtue of our Kundalini awakening and piercing our Brahmarandra and connecting with the all-pervading power. When that happens, all the blessings of divine starts flowing through us, all our problems, physical, mental, emotional, familial, monetary, whatever we can think of, start getting resolved slowly, because we are connected with the ultimate, with the divine, and we can feel the vibrations of the divine flowing through us daily in meditation. And when we say Sahaj, Sahaj means something that is simple or something that is spontaneous, that happens on its own, like our breathing. We don't even know it's happening, like the sprouting of a seed, like a flower turning into a fruit. All of the natural processes in the world are very spontaneous. You don't have to do anything for them, thankfully, otherwise, don't know where we would be. Similarly, Shree Mataji says this Kundalini awakening is something that is very spontaneous, and there is very little that you can do about it. As has been described by various saints, just need somebody who is authorized, who can give you the realization, and you have to be a path to get it. So this is very briefly what Sahaja is all about. What we'll do quickly is look at our internal subtle system now. So a chart would be coming up on your screens now, which will be useful for us to talk a little bit more about who we are inside. So we all look very different on the outside, and we think ourselves to be different races, different people of different religions, castes, etc. But on the inside, we have all been created in the same pattern. When we are in our mother's womb, God's power, His energy, whatever name we call it, enters through our fontanel bone area here at the top of the head, where we see a large flower kind of thing. And it refracts into three main powers. And those are the three channels that we see here, the yellow one, blue one, and the central one. And it creates these 7 centers inside us, which are the flower kind of things that you see inside us. This energy is what is responsible for, when we say creating these centers in turn are responsible for running off everything inside us on the subtle. And the leftover energy, it comes down and it settles in our sacrum bone, which is the bone at the very end. You can see a triangular bone here. Yeah. So this bone, interestingly, has been called the sacrum bone by the Greeks. So the word sacrum really means something sacred, so something pure and higher. So the Greeks also somewhat knew of this power being something sacred. And this power has been called as Kundalini Shakti. So this is a Sanskrit name again. And when we say Kundalini, it means, Kundal means coils. So this power resides in our sacrum bone in 3.5 coils. So the word Kundal comes from there. And it's a mother power, it's a mother energy. So the name Kundalini. She's the mother, she's our individual mother and has been with us through all our lives. And she's the one who will give us our second birth, which is the self-realization. We'll quickly talk about the 3 channels and the 7 centers inside us, and then go for a meditation session. On the left-hand side, we see a blue channel, and this blue channel is called as the Ida Nadi. This governs on the left sympathetic nervous system. All our emotions, our desires, they originate from this channel. All our past stored in this channel. And if we are somebody who's always living in the past too much, very emotional, we have too many desires, then we are working too much on this channel. And whenever we go to an extreme on anything in Sahaja Yoga, we understand, then that thing can go bad. So if we are somebody who's too much on the left-hand side, we can develop diseases pertaining to an extremity of this side. For example, what we know as the psychosomatic diseases, they all originate from the excess use of the left channel. all mental troubles, etc. In meditation, we feel the status of both the channels on our left and right hands. So that's very important as well to understand. So, for example, the status of our Ida Nadi would feel on our left palm in meditation. Similarly, on the right hand side, we have the Pingala Nadi, which is also called as the sun channel. This governs our right sympathetic nervous system and is responsible for all our action. When we say action, it means physical action and it means mental action. So all our thinking, all our future planning, and everything, aggression, all of that comes from this channel, because when we work too much, we become aggressive, we develop our ego. So all of those things originate from here. So the left was for desires and emotions, right is for action and planning and thinking. Again, we can feel this channel on the right palm when we meditate. So the going on both left and right is not good. What we have to be is to be in center. So when we are thinking of the past, we are on the left channel too much. When we are thinking of the future too much, we are on the right channel. Actually, all the time, 24 hours, we are thinking, even when we are asleep, and the thoughts never stop. And we don't even know what we're thinking about, but it's just two things. It's either something that has happened in the past or something that would happen in the future. Both are not real. We have to be in the center. For example, Buddha has talked about being in center. So the central channel, called as the Sushumna Nadi, is about being in the center. When we are on this channel, we get eventually into the Nirvichar state, where we are not thinking too much. This governs our parasympathetic nervous system, and this is the path for Kundalini to rise. So we understand the importance of being balanced in our life. Everything we do in our life has to be balanced, so that we are a balanced personality overall, and we are on the central path. When we are on the central path, that is when the Kundalini can rise and pierce through the last center here and give us our self-realization. So in Sahaja Yoga, we have found that very ordinary, normal people living normal lives get to it very easily, whereas complicated people, maybe very, very highly placed people, often are not as well placed to get it. They need to come into some sort of a balance before they get it. So it's more easy for a normal household person to get Sahaja Yoga, to get their realization, because they are living a normal balanced life. Now, this was about the three nadis. We'll quickly touch upon all of the centers and talk about them a little bit. What are these centers? Are essentially they are chakras. They are governed by several deities, gods and goddesses, and on the gross, they get represented on the gross as the plexuses inside us, which we know, again, there are 7 plexuses inside us, exactly in the same positions as these chakras. And those plexuses govern all our organs, all our nervous system crosses through that, through these centers. And essentially, these centers, they govern every aspect of us, our emotional, our mental being, our physical being. Even everything around us is governed by us. The personality that we are is made by these centers. So the first center that we have here is called as the Mooladhara Chakra, which is governed by the deity that we worship, the first, Sri Ganesha. And each chakra is governed by a deity, and that deity has some qualities. When we go against those qualities, we ruin that chakra. When we ruin that chakra, we develop problems around that chakra. These could be various problems, and right from physical to maybe mental, maybe emotional, whatever, familial, societal. So many issues could come up because of that. So, for example, Mooladhara Chakra is governing the sex part of it. So when we go against that, we ruin this chakra. And Sri Ganesha's qualities are innocence, wisdom, Mangal Metta, Pavitrita. When we go against those qualities, we ruin this chakra very much. And when this chakra gets awakened in us, it's strong, we develop wisdom, which is so good especially for children, because they know where to go, what to do, what not to do, right from the very early days in their lives. This chakra is represented. We are showing here what are the places of the chakra on the hand. So where number 1 is written, where the palm meets the arm, that is where we feel this chakra, both on the left and right side. So each chakra has 3 different parts to it: left, right, center. We feel them on our palms, and there are different reasons for each chakra to be caught up on the left and on the right, etc. After this comes the Swadhisthana Chakra. This is governed by Sri Brahmadev Saraswati. As we know, they are the creators of this world. So we develop creative powers inside us when they are awakened. And the reason for this chakra to go bad, there are several reasons. On the left-hand side, this goes bad when we do some avidyas, that is, if we go to some tantrikas, etc. On the right-hand side, this chakra gets bad because if we are somebody who's thinking too much, planning too much, working too much, because the right channel starts from this chakra. And the major part of Swadhisthana Chakra's role is also into giving the fat cells to get converted into gray cells for us to think in our brains. So actually all our thinking starts from our stomach. If it's doing too much of that, it's not able to take care of so many organs in that area like pancreas, liver, etc. And we start developing diseases like diabetes and liver troubles. So there are various other things to talk about a particular chakra, but when the Kundalini rises and it touches this center, all of this comes into balance, and these problems, these troubles, they slowly start going away, and we start developing creative powers inside us. And so many people in Sahaja Yoga have actually developed various artistic qualities right after coming into Sahaja Yoga. You can feel this chakra on both of our thumbs on the left and the right side. After this comes our Navi Chakra. And the Navi Chakra is governed by Sri Lakshmi Narayan, who take care of our complete benevolence. They are responsible for, when we say benevolence, so all the blessings of Lakshmi inside us. So when we are somebody who's very, very unsatisfied all the time from some or the other problem, it could be monetary, it could be family, then this chakra is always bad for such people, and such people always develop a lot of troubles around the stomach. And apart from this, this chakra is also responsible for our evolution. So we know that Sri Narayana is the one who took incarnations to bring us to this human stage, and there have been so many stages that he's come in. Also, this chakra is responsible for our seeking. So when we say seeking, it could be food. So our desire for having food started as animals. At animal stage, we are seeking food, maybe shelter. At human stage, it has grown into a lot of other things that we are seeking. And slowly and steadily, as we talked about, that seeking develops into a seeking for the Almighty, the God. And we can feel this Navi Chakra on our longest fingers, the middle fingers. Around this Navi Chakra is what we call as the Bhavsagar. And we have heard the reference of Bhavsagar in so many bhajans where we say that Devi is the one who would take us across the Bhavsagar, the Bhakta, she protects them. This is the place of Dharma inside us. This is the place where the true religion is placed. And that's not Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, or anything like that. That is something that has been established inside us by the incarnations of the primordial master, Adi Guru Dattatreya. And there have been several such incarnations that we don't know about, like Guru Nanaka, like Shirdi Sainath, like Socrates, Zoroaster, like Muhammad Sahib, Lao Tse, Confucius, and so many of them. There are 10 major incarnations that are settled here. And all of them have talked about what humans should do and should not do at different points of time, at different stages of the evolution of human life. They appeared, and in different regions they appeared. And According to the need of the people there, they taught what was necessary. And we think that they have all taught different things, but in Sahaja Yoga, there is a complete integration of all the religions, of all the great incarnations and masters, and we understand what all they have taught, why they have taught that, and we respect and worship all of them. So this is the place of Bhavsagara. When we see something very bad in front of us, we end up maybe puking. So our religion tells us what's right, what's not right. This chakra can get caught up if we go against the principle of the guru. So if we go to some wrong gurus as well, this chakra can get caught up. After this comes the heart chakra, which is called as the Anahata Chakra. And this is the place where the mother of the universe, Jagadamba, is placed. The heart chakra is placed exactly behind our sternum bone. And this is the place where we develop our security. When we know that mother is there to take care of everything, we are no more afraid. And we develop that sense of that knowledge that she's there to protect us. And when we are somebody who's very afraid all the time, then this chakra is very weak, and such people get sick all the time, especially in children, when we know that they get very, very sick quite often. Or women who are maybe insecure with their husbands, family can develop issues like breast cancer and stuff like that. So on the left-hand side is the place of the spirit, the Atma, which is, what is Atma? Is the reflection of the Almighty. And this is the place of Shiv Parvati as well inside us. And here is the quality of love and compassion placed inside us. On the right-hand side is Sri Sitaram, who are the Maryada Purushottamas. And they have told us how to be an ideal son, father, brother, etc., everything, king. When we go against those qualities, we go against that particular chakra. On the left-hand side is the mother principle. On the right-hand side is the father principle here inside us. So in children, maybe let's say, for example, who have not known their fathers, or their fathers have been very bad to them, the right heart chakra would get caught up, and such children may have breathing troubles, for example. This chakra we can feel on our smallest fingers on both the hands. After this comes the Vishuddhi Chakra inside us. Vishuddhi Chakra is governed by Sri Radha Krishna. And there are various qualities that we associate to him and her. But let's say the sweetness in our talking, the communication, they take care of everything, our ENT, our face, our hands. So all our communication happens through this chakra. A sense of collectivity, a true sense of collectivity, and not just at the world organizations we talk about, we are brothers and sisters, but a true sense of collectivity develops here. We become part and parcel of the whole, the Virata, Sri Krishna. Apart from that, one of the greatest qualities that this chakra has is of, we also start developing that Sakshi sense that he had of looking at the world as a Leela. There are various other qualities to talk about this chakra, but let's see how this chakra goes back. For example, on the left-hand side, this chakra gets caught up if we are somebody who's always feeling very guilty. We always say, oh, I'm so bad, I've done this, that. So I've something about the past, or I'm not so good, talking down to yourself. And the left Vishuddhi gets caught up. Similarly, on the right-hand side, if we are somebody who's always putting others down by shouting at them, abusing them, being sarcastic, and all of that, the right Vishuddhi can get caught up. So these are the two parts, and also by taking any form of tobacco, right Vishuddhi gets caught up. We can feel this chakra on our index fingers. And as we talked about, when this chakra gets awakened, there are so many qualities that develop inside us. After this comes the Agya Chakra, where we place our bindi. This is the place of the optic thalamus, where literally there's an intersection of the two channels, and there's a cross. This chakra is governed by three incarnations who talked about the same thing: Jesus Christ, Mahavira, Gautam Buddha. They all talked about forgiveness. All their lives, miracles, all their stories are about forgiving. And this is the place of forgiveness. If we don't forgive, we cannot cross over this chakra. Um, this is a very, very constricted path for Kundalini to pass through. And after it passes through this chakra, there are two bodies placed inside us called as the ego and superego. So our left and right channel, they develop into superego and ego respectively. What is that? Superego is all our conditionings, our learnings throughout the life. All of them come and settle on the right side on our head. And if we are somebody who's too much conditioned, this overtakes our brain, and the path for Kundalini to pass through is clouded by superego. Same can happen with ego. If somebody is very egoistic, very right-sided, then this ego develops and it takes over, and the path for Kundalini to pass through is constricted. But when we forgive and Kundalini crosses through the Agya Chakra, it sucks in these two bodies inside us, the superego and ego. All our karmas are sucked in by Kundalini, and the path opens for Kundalini to pass through. We can feel this chakra on both our ring fingers on left and right side. After this comes the Sahasrara Chakra, which is the final one that we'll talk about. And this is, as the name suggests, it is the 1,000-petal chakra. The quality that is mentioned is integration, because all these centers, when awakened, get integrated in our head around the Sahasrara, and we get integrated with the divine through this chakra. This place is also called as the Brahmarandra, which literally means the whole of the divine. So when Kundalini passes through here, we get our connection with the divine, the union, the yoga that we started discussing about. And the power of the divine starts flowing into us. And we can feel that power on our hands as cool vibrations. Initially, it can also be hot vibrations. And what's the reference for these cool vibrations? How do we know that this is what has been talked about? For example, Adi Guru Shankaracharya has talked about it. He says that when Mother's grace dawns upon us, we feel Salilam Salilam Chaitanya. Salilam Salilam literally means cool, cool. Chaitanya means vibrations. Then Quran mentions this. It says that when Qiyamah's time will come, your hands will speak and they will give witness against you. Literally, we feel everything about us on our hands. Up until now, we didn't know what we are inside. We get to know, we can correct it. If we have problems, we can correct them in Sahaja Yoga. We can know others as well. So they really give witness against us. And Bible says that when Holy Ghost will come, you will feel the cool breeze. Of course, they don't know what Holy Ghost is in this context. So this is what happens to us when we get our realization. And for the first time, we know who we are inside, and we know what chakras are catching. We can correct them. There are ways and methods in Sahaja Yoga to correct them. So we develop that understanding, and we develop that knowledge to treat us, treat others, make our lives better. So this is all the theory part of it. There's a lot to talk about. Shree Mataji has given thousands and thousands of lectures in English, Marathi, and Hindi languages, and we can learn so much from them. But right now, let's go for the meditation session, which is the most important thing here. So what we'll do is quickly just see some steps. So there are some steps that we can do to help with the awakening of Kundalini. And what is that is really just bringing ourselves into balance and helping some of the centers. So in Sahaja Yoga, we use the elements quite a lot. We always have a diya ready and in front of Shree Mataji's photograph while we meditate. But we also use the other elements. So for example, now there will be some steps that will show, which will use some of these elements that we are made of. So the first step is where we keep our left palm open in our lap and the right palm on the Mother Earth. Here we will do some prayers. Then we'll bring the right hand back into our lap and use the left hand and put it like this with our elbows bent towards the sky. The next step, we'll put both our hands on the Mother Earth. So we are just saying these steps, and later we'll do meditation by closing our eyes. Then we'll bring both our hands into a lap. And the next steps would all be done with the right hand, which is the Kriya Shakti. The right hand will be placed now on our heart. We'll press here a bit and have some prayers. After this, we place this hand on our forehead across, like we would when we would have a headache. Then we take this hand back where we place our pillow and push back our heads. The last step, we place this hand on the top of the head where the fontanel bone is, and we'll stretch our palm completely, fingers stretched, and place the center of the palm on the top of the head. And we'll press and move the scalp in a clockwise direction while doing some prayers here. This is all. These are the steps to be done. Now it's quite easy for us to understand that doing these steps cannot be enough for us to get our self-realization. Shree Mataji's photograph is a miraculous thing. The vibrations coming from her photograph are the ones actually that do this miracle in us, where we get our realization. The Kundalini knows her to be the authority, and she rises because of her photograph. So we have to understand the importance of her photograph and be very, very humble towards her. To look at her photograph, and we can pray that, Mother, I want to get my realization. Please be kind and gracious and give me my realization today, Mother. To be placed very humbly and pleasantly towards yourself, we can close our eyes and bring our attention inside. Just see that we are not slouching and neither are we very, very straight. We have to be in a comfortable position. Just see where our attention is right now. Now we'll do the steps that we had just seen to bring ourselves into balance. We'll place our right hand on the Mother Earth and keep the left hand open in our lap. Here we have to say, Mother, please take out all the impurities, negativities of my Ida Nadi through the Mother Earth. Mother, please bring my Ida channel into balance. Mother, please take out all the negativities of my Ida Nadi through the Mother Earth. We can keep our attention on both the palms and see what is happening. You can bring the hand back into a lap and put the left hand towards the sky, bent from the elbow. Here we have to say, Mother, please take out all the impurities of my Pingla Nadi through the sky element or ether element. Mother, please bring my Pingla Nadi into balance and take out its excessive heat through the sky element. Again, we can keep our attention on both of our palms and just see what is happening. Now we'll place both of our hands on the Mother Earth. Here we have to pray, Mother, whatever impurities or negativities are still left in my left and right channels, please take them out through the Mother Earth. Mother, please bring me into complete balance. Mother, please bring me into the center, into the present. We'll bring both her hands into her lap. Now all the next steps would be done with our right hand only. We'll place the right hand on our heart and the left hand is open in our lap. Here is the place of the spirit, the Atma inside us. We have to state a fact here. We have to say, Mother, I am the pure spirit, which is the truth. Spirit has only been shrouded by so many other things inside us, like our ego and our conditionings and our thoughts, our mind, so many things. We have to say, Mother, I am not all of this. I'm not this body, mind, ego, etc. I am the pure spirit. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Now, as I am the spirit, I'm not guilty at all. I have to say it with full confidence. Mother, I am not guilty at all. As we had seen that feeling guilty always causes a lot of trouble with the Vishuddhi Chakra and we do not feel the vibrations. So it's very important to state this right now. Let Mother be the judge of you. Just say, Mother, I am not guilty at all. Now we'll place this hand on our forehead, place it across and press it like we would when we would have a headache. Here we have to say, Mother, I forgive everyone. Don't have to think of anyone. And we just have to forgive. If we don't forgive, we play into the hands of the people who have done us wrong. But when we forgive, God takes over. So we just say that, Mother, I forgive everyone. I also forgive myself. Mother, I forgive everyone. Now we place this hand at the back of the head and push back our head towards the sky. Here we have to say that, oh God, if I have committed any sin against you, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive me. Oh God, if I have done any sin against you, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive me. You can bring the hand back into a lap for rest a bit. Now in the last step, we'll stretch our right hand completely, fingers outside, stretched outside, and place the center of the palm at the very fontanel bone area that we know of to be Sahasrara now, and press hard. Now while pressing, we will move our hand so that the scalp moves along in a clockwise direction. We'll move our hand so that the scalp moves along in a clockwise direction. I have to do this slowly here while pressing, and we have to really ask for it. Shree Mataji says she cannot go against our freedom, and we have to ask for it. So last, with complete humility, Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my Atma Sakshatkar. Mother, please give me my yoga union with the divine. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please let me feel the vibrations, the Param Chaitanya, the love of God. Mother, please give me my self-realization. We'll stop moving the hand and bring it back into our lap slowly. We'll keep our attention where the hand was for half a minute and sit in meditation. We'll now bring our attention to both of our palms and see what do we feel in the very middle of the center of the palm. Do we feel cool vibrations? You can also bring the attention at the tips of the fingers. We may feel some tingling sensations on some fingers. For some people, there might be cool or hot breeze, some numbness maybe or heaviness according to the state that we are in. You can just note this experience for now. We'll bring the right hand again at the top of the head where we had just placed it and raise it a couple of inches above the head. And just see there is a cool breeze coming out of the head, hitting our palm. You can move the hand front, back, left, right a bit. There would be a particular place where this breeze would be coming from. It could be hot as well. We'll try the same thing with our left hand now. We'll place it again at the Sahasrara and raise it a couple of inches above the head and see where the breeze is coming from. You can move the hand a little bit. We'll see, can feel it from a particular place. You can try with the right hand one more time. Now, as a last step, you take both of our hands completely up towards the sky and open palms towards the sky and push our head back. We'll ask one of these three questions 3 times. Mother, is this the divine power? Mother, is this the Param Chaitanya? Mother, is this the power of God? Mother, is this the power that has created the whole universe? You can ask any one of these questions 3 times. In response, the sensations would improve on both your hands. You can bring them down slowly back into our lap, and we'll keep our attention on the top of the head on Sahasrara and sit in meditation for a minute or so. We can slowly open our eyes now and look at Shree Mataji's photograph. You'll find that we can continue being in meditation while looking at her photograph. You will find that there are no thoughts right now. This is the first blessing of self-realization, Nirvichar Chetna, where we are in thoughtless awareness. We bring both of our hands in a pranam namaskara to Shree Mataji and thank her for this blissful meditation. What we have felt today is just the very first step. It's like the sprouting of a seed. Needs to grow and become a strong tree. For that, we need to meditate daily. And there are some ways and methods in Sahaja Yoga to protect ourselves and cleanse ourselves more. Mike now will tell you how to learn about those. Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji, everyone. All the seekers who have joined us today, please share your experience with us. Or if you have any doubts, any queries, you can also ask them. You can join the Zoom meeting We have provided the link to the meeting in the live chat. You can join the meeting and talk to us directly, or you can share your experience, your questions in YouTube live chat. Also, for new seekers, we have created a WhatsApp group. You can click on the link for the WhatsApp group to join it directly, or you can share your WhatsApp number on the chat. In this group, we share Shree Mataji's speeches, our daily self-realization sessions, links, and also some tutorial videos which will help you understand Sahaja Yoga and some things like foot soaking and bandhan that we have to do with meditation. We also share some books, literature in this group. So every day, similar sessions are being conducted, and usually they are in Hindi. Only on Saturday, we have this session in English. So if you or your friends or family are more comfortable in Hindi, you can tell them to join the sessions on any other day. They can watch these sessions on YouTube anytime and do meditation, or also they can join it live at 8 a.m., 4:15 p.m., or 7:45 p.m. If they join it live, they'll also be able to ask their questions and get the answers quickly, immediately. So all these sessions are being conducted on the same YouTube channel. You can subscribe to the channel or join the WhatsApp link so that you get all these links and tutorials and videos easily. Again, if you have any questions, any doubts, any queries, please do ask. You can leave a comment in the live chat, or you can join the Zoom meeting and talk to us. Jai Shri Mataji. Jai Shri Mataji. There is also deep meditation session every day on the same channel. A huge collectivity joins it and do meditation at the same time. So that will also be very helpful. If you have understood about the basic knowledge of Sahaja Yoga, if you've got the feelings on your hand or on your head, if you have started feeling vibrations, you can join this session also at 5:30 every day. We meditate on chakras and nadis using mantras and also listen to Shree Mataji's lecture. All these sessions are on the same YouTube channel. We'll wait for a couple of minutes. If anybody has any questions, they can leave it in the live chat. Jai Shri Mataji, we have no questions, so we'll close this session now. We thank Shri Mataji for this wonderful gift that she has given us and for all the joy that she keeps giving. Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji.